Hi guys, it's Poppy. I'm recording from beautiful downtown Walltown, Springview Farm, as you can see in the background. And I just want to continue our chat in preparation for the Michigan Statewide Team Convention. Josh asked me a few months ago if I would lead some workshops on the theme following Jesus when he calls you to ministry. And so I want to talk about that now. I'll discuss that a little bit. I do hope to see a bunch of you on March the 10th in Lansing at the Causeway Bay Hotel. I want to base our discussion today around the question, do you move chairs? Now that seems like an odd question. That question comes from a story told by Ben Merrill about 15 or 20 years ago. Ben, a wonderful man of God, was at the time the senior pastor at Harvester Christian Church, one of the Midwestern states. Harvester was doing a lot of cutting-edge things at that time, especially for Midwestern churches, and so they used a lot of student intern ministers. Ben, being the senior pastor, was on the interview committee just about every time. And Ben usually just sat and listened and asked a few questions to tie up loose ends. One of Ben's questions was always, do you move chairs? And the students would typically respond by saying, huh? And then Ben would say, here at Harvester we have 3 services plus small groups on Sunday morning. We're in a rented facility. We have to rearrange chairs and rearrange our setting quite often, and we have to do that in a real hurry between services. Therefore, we really need folks who are servant-hearted, who will help us get set up. So again, I ask you, do you move chairs? And usually the students would sort of grin a little bit and say, yes sir, I'll help any way I can. But once in a while, someone would kind of turn up their nose and say, well, I'm a specialist, I do this or whatever. And Ben's usual thought was that person really isn't qualified. You see, ministry is about doing whatever has to be done. If it's moving chairs, it's moving chairs. Ben himself was such a great example of that. Usually in the morning early or the late service, Ben was in the parking lot early picking up cigarette butts and gum wrappers and helping people get parked. A lot of times, first-time visitors would come in and there's this guy picking up cigarette butts, telling them where to park, and they go inside and this guy's the lead minister. And people were just surprised and blown away and thrilled with that this leader is helping serve. He's moving chairs. Another great example of that many of you may know, a person you may know in Michigan, is Larry Carter, president of Great Lakes Christian College. Larry really does have a servant's heart. The first time I saw Larry after he became president at Great Lakes, I had walked into the main building there. I had come over to visit some of the guys or do a lecture or something. And when I walked in the front door, I heard the vacuum running, and I thought, well, someone's just cleaning up. And I walked around the corner to see who it was, and it was Larry running the vacuum up and down the hall. So that's a servant's heart. He's willing to move chairs. So I'm asking you that question as you consider following Christ in his call to ministry. Do you move chairs? Will you do whatever it takes to get the job done? Here's a question to ask yourself right now. Do I move chairs at home? Do I keep my own room straight? Do I help with laundry? Do I help in the kitchen? Do I help keep the bathroom straightened up? You see, if I won't move chairs at home, if I won't serve in the place where I am right now, then I probably won't serve later either. Remember, ministry is all about service. So again, do you move chairs? Heaven's greatest example of that, of course, is Jesus. The story in John's Gospel, chapter 13, about him washing the feet of the disciples. He had that servant's heart. He was willing to do whatever it takes. So, as we get ready to visit with one another in March at the Michigan Statewide Teen Convention, I just want you to consider that question. Do you move chairs? Thanks a lot, guys. And all of you, I hope, will have a very wonderful day. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.